Wait a couple more minutes to get through some of the bills.
We're good.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's a regular meeting of the Mayor and Council for Monday, February 25th, 2019. Will everyone please rise for a moment of silent prayer? Councilwoman Kaufman, please lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board of Borough Hall, by email to the Ridgewood News, the Record, and by submission to all persons entitled to same, as provided by law, of a schedule including the date and time of this meeting. I'd like to remind all members of the public that we have 3 fire exits in our council chambers, 1 on each side of the dais and 1 in the rear. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Steve? Here. Councilman Kamigo?
Here.
Councilwoman Davis? Present. Councilman Gaudier?
Here.
Councilwoman Kaufman? Here. Councilman Papaleo?
Here.
And Mayor Mignon?
Present. Motion, please, to approve Resolution 19-101 to go into closed session and exclude the public for the purpose of discussing potential litigation, Almonte versus River Edge.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in closed. Council's back in regular session. We just left closed session. Madam Clerk, please retake the roll, please.
Okay. Councilwoman Steve?
Yeah, here.
Councilman Kamigo?
Here.
Councilwoman Davis? Present. Councilman Gaudier?
Here.
Councilwoman Kaufman?
Here.
Councilman Papaleo?
Here.
And Mayor Mignon?
Present. All right, approval of minutes. Motion to approve the mayor and council work session and regular meeting of February 11th, 2019.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Abstain.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 1 abstention. No proclamations and awards. Motion to open to the public for comments on agenda items.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're open for questions or comments on any specific agenda item. There'll be an opportunity to address the council again later in the meeting. Seeing no one, motion to close, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Appointment of personnel changes. A motion to approve the salary increase of Chris Lau, crossing guard, from an hourly Step 2 rate of $19.54 to Step 3, $20.58, effective March 12, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to approve the satisfactory completion of a 6-month probationary period and salary increase of Peter Van Gunst, crossing guard, from an hourly probationary rate of $16 to Step 1, $18.51, effective March 24, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to approve the salary increase of Scott Adder, Equipment Operator 1 in the Department of Public Works, from annual salary of $77,104 to $77,584 due to an increase in longevity from $960 to $1,440, effective March 26, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to approve the hire of Mark DePisa as alternate municipal prosecutor, effective February 26, 2019.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No correspondence this evening, and we have 1 monthly report from the Shade Tree Commission on file with the clerk for the month of January 2019. We have 1 ordinance on for first reading tonight. Madam Clerk, please read ordinance 19-7 by title.
Ordinance 19-7, an ordinance amending Chapter 400, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Traffic Regulations, 400-21, Terms of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of River Edge.
And this is to amend our traffic regulation regarding left turns on Kinderconnect going north in front of the Shiva to alleviate traffic congestion. The motion to adopt ordinance 19-7 on first reading.
So moved.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Steve?
Yes.
Councilman Kamigo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis? Abstain. Councilman Gaudier?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman?
Yes.
And Councilman Papaleo?
Yes.
this ordinance is adopted on first reading, there will be a public hearing on this ordinance at a future meeting. We have no ordinances on for second reading this evening. And in the agenda, we have resolutions listed for consent, Resolution 19-102 to 19-107. Does any member of council wish to have, for separate consideration or discussion, any of those resolutions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adopt them by consent.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And will Councilman Kaufman please read and move Resolution 19-108, payment of the bills?
Sure. Payment of bills, whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge has been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and the Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee, now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $70,831.96. Recreation account, $475. Trust other developers account, $51.54. Trust other account, $556.93. Be it further resolved that claims read and approved by the governing body at a council meeting will be dated the day after the reading of those claims and will appear on the following bill list at the next public meeting of the mayor and council, at which time claims would be paid. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any member of the public would like to make a comment, question? Mr. Queen? Lou?
There was talk a while back,
Just Lou, just give your name for the record, please.
Lou Grasso, 172 Logan Terrace. I remember a meeting, quite a few meetings back, there was talk about the impending legislation where they might make marijuana legal, and there was talk of an ordinance where it was going to be prohibited, not prohibited, it would not be listed as, the choice act was not going to be listed.
There's an opt-in, opt-out.
Out.
It was listed as like an opt-in, opt-out, and I assume that's still the way the legislation is.
Right now, yeah, it's in the state of flux, but there'd be an opt-out, yeah.
We haven't seen any final proposal from the legislature yet, so I don't know if the council's in a position to.
So the way it's written right now is all of these towns are adopting these ordinances, opting out of a legislation that does not exist right now. The statute actually reads, you need to redo your opt-out all over again. So it's great public press for them, but they're going to need to do it all over again. So once the statute is done, I believe there's a time period, not only from the day the marijuana becomes legal, it's the day, I think it's 180 days or 90 days from the day the regulations are set. So you have plenty of time to opt out. But you're doing it now, you're going to be doing it all over again. You're wasting time and money on it. So as soon as they...
I know different towns sort of have a different zoning ordinance. I mean, some towns have a list of permitted uses and a list of prohibited
Totally
uses.
separate issue.
Some towns like River Edge only just have a list of permitted uses.
Yeah, I don't know how legally that holds, because essentially our ordinance is written as a permissive ordinance, so if it's not listed, it's presumed not permitted. But I don't know how that's going to...
It's kind of a gray area, though, because it has a list of permitted uses, and at the bottom, it says something to effect and other uses which are similar and something like that.
If you opt out, it's not going to be... So,
Okay.
we're on top.
Yes.
Cindy B. Queen, 7457 Avenue. I have 2 questions. One is in regard to the DPW. Are we progressing along on filling John Mitchell's shoes there?
Yes.
Is that something that's happening in the near future?
I would expect so. We've been going through several interview rounds, and we're getting to a point where we're probably close to making a decision.
Great. The other is, I know this is concerning the community center. So I know there was a traffic survey done, that you had a meeting for the residents of Tenny, mostly for the residents of Tenny, to review the results of it. I'd like to hear what it was, and then the other thing is, if you wouldn't mind giving a an update on where we stand on the community center right now, where we're sitting as a town?
The-
Plans or?
The meeting that you're referring to was not meant for people attending. It was a full open public hearing. We chose to give additional notice to the people within the 200 feet to be consistent with the land use law. So it was an open public meeting. It wasn't just meant for people attending. I don't know if I can get into all the details, because frankly I don't remember all the details. But you know, it's on the video. We can certainly get you a copy of whatever the minutes. I think we're pretty comprehensive as to what the testimony was by the traffic engineer. That was the hearing we had in front of the council. The land use board had its own what they call a capital review hearing, and Mr. Grasso was on the board. He may be able to speak to that more than I did, but I assume that I wasn't there, but that the testimony given was probably, or should be, the same that we heard at the council level. As far as it goes, the land use board has made some general recommendations in terms of recommendations to what they think would improve the plan. At this point, the professionals are reviewing those recommendations and see which ones can be implemented and if there's any significant changes required. And that's where we are right now.
So at this point, it doesn't look like that anything will be done there until at least summer, or not?
It depends. I mean, my hope is that we can have maybe Mr. Costa come in the next meeting and tell us where those revisions stand, and then we can make a decision from that point.
So you think that they'll be taking down the building and
Well,
something around?
if that would, well, I can't say at this point. It's going to be up to the council. If we can adequately absorb the changes or the recommendations from the boards, and then to me, at least my personal position, is no reason why we shouldn't go out to bid, and then get the bids in. Hopefully, the costs will come in where we think they're going to be and proceed. We're not there yet. Anything else? Motion to close the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Council comments? Councilman Canino?
No comments tonight, thank you, Mayor.
Councilwoman Davis?
Thank you. I spoke with Carol Ma, the president of SCORE. She had called me, and she was looking for an update on the community center. And I kind of told her what you just repeated, that we're not there yet, but we're hoping to move along. But, she said, well, so we're not talking about this year being built? I said, no.
Yeah, I don't know where everybody gets that. I wish we can snap our fingers and do things like that. It doesn't work.
And then she also had some questions about the budgeted money that was reduced for them. And I told her about the grant money that they still hadn't used. So that was about it on that discussion. The fire department, Company 2, operated at the Fort Lee apartment fire on Valentine's Day. And it was pretty interesting. 4 towns ran and coupled their hoses from the hydrant on Route 4 all the way up that Executive Drive hill. I don't know if you know that hill, and that's how they got to the water up there. So that's what they were used for. And I was able, through Chief O'Connell, to obtain the New Milford truck grant paperwork, and I gave it to Alan. And we are having a farmers market meeting tomorrow evening.
I apologize, but actually go back a little bit. I wanted to open something up under old business. Is that possible, or
Well, we're not in work session, but if you want to bring it up.
just to bring it up with respect to the meeting that's going to take place for the subcommittee and the Board of Ed's subcommittee right now, as you know, is scheduled for March 14th. Council President Bastide had an idea today and wanted me to bring it up. Currently, we have myself, you, Mr. Mayor, and Carolyn on this subcommittee. Councilwoman Kaufman is going to also be joining us. I had brought up the idea of having Alan as part of this subcommittee, but Alan was not interested, saying that he's got way too much on his plate as is. But Council President Woodsteed did point out that perhaps the next administrator should be part of the committee, and if everybody's in favor of that.
And I would not ask Alan to attend necessarily. I think he still needs to be involved up until the time he leaves. Obviously, he's got a counterpart over there that he needs to be in contact with, so I can appreciate. I don't want to put any more on his plate than he has right now either. So, but maybe as long as he's kept in the loop in terms of the agendas and the minutes, and if we need him to do something, I'm sure he'll stay involved.
Okay.
I agree on both counts, so I'm sure we'll be able to accommodate that.
Thanks.
Councilmember Steve?
Thank you, Jared, for bringing that up. I'm going to hand out to the council. This is a flyer that the Environmental Protection Commission has worked on. And they have a unique way that they're planning on distributing it. So I had mentioned this a while ago. It's called Recycle Right in River Edge. It's a very easy way to see what we should be recycling and what we should not be recycling. And on the other side, it promotes Recycle Coach, and it also talks a little bit about how much we spend for landfill costs versus what revenue we take in currently for recycling. This has come from Alan. So how the Environmental Protection Commission wants to distribute this is a draft, we haven't finalized this yet, wants to distribute this is through the Boy Scouts Scouting for Food program.
Oh, nice.
And have the Boy Scouts deliver one with the Scouting for Food, and hopefully also turn the Scouting for Food into ultimately a bagless effort, a ban on the plastic bag, and they're looking to get contributions of reusable bags and introduce that either 100% or phase that in starting this year, and use the Boy Scouts to distribute this Recycle Right in River Edge flyer. So I give them, they've been working on this for well over 6 months. They've done a great job. They've worked with our Atlantic Coast Fibers. They've worked with the DPW. Lisa Hessman has been very, very helpful. And they're also helping Alan deliver the annual stormwater message that we're required to send out. So Alan has been very happy. So you feel free to share with me any comments you have. I think they've done a great job. I frankly don't think it really needs much work at all. But they're ready to go to print and utilize the Boy Scouts to distribute them to all of our residents.
Great.
And Lisa Hessman has been on board with this, so.
Back page. This is this way.
I know, they'll fix
What
that.
I thought it might have been that it was going to be a folder.
It might be.
It might be, but they'll make
Yeah.
those adjustments.
If it's going to be a
I think-
trifold, then that would make sense.
But I want to thank also our resident Lisa Junta, who's volunteered her graphic design skills to work with the Girl Scouts. So, but this is a great effort, and if they can eliminate plastic bags from that effort, that would be fantastic too. So I want to thank them for that. Tomorrow evening, the Riverdale PTO is hosting Alumni in Recovery. This is open to all members of the public, not just parents, where they're going to share with parents the Alumni in Recovery program that the students see at Riverdale. So it's open to the public at 7 p.m. at the Riverdale High School Library. Feel free to come. And if you know people in other communities that would like to listen, they're welcome to as well. Councilwoman Davis mentioned the wellness grant that's still available for the seniors. I had asked Carolyn Valdanda, our rec director, to see whether there's any opportunity she could find to utilize that. We do not want to lose that money, and it has to be spent by June 30th. So I'm sure she's considering some options, and we'll work with both Councilwoman Davis and Councilwoman Kaufman to assist for how to use that, or to make it for residents, senior residents that may not participate in SCORE. It doesn't have to be just for SCORE.
Right.
And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I am in weekly contact with DPW. We have nothing of urgency to report to the council. I did miss the last Shade Tree Commission meeting due to parent-teacher conferences at my job in Teaneck. And there is nothing else to report of urgency. Oh, just one thing, my bad. I know, right? The DPW would like to get a Home Depot government commercial credit account. spoken to
Yeah,
Alan about
I'm
this.
surprised we didn't have it.
And Alan was concerned about the legality. He wants to do the paperwork.
Sounds happy. Sounds happy.
And so hopefully we will be, the DPW, and they have an account with ACE, but there are things that ACE doesn't carry that they need, and it would provide them a great second option for especially emergency repairs, with equipment.
Let's go to here.
Thank you, Mayor. I should mention that tomorrow I'll be attending the State of the County address by the county executive, and I will be reporting back to the council on that. And that's about it for me. Thank you.
Councilman Thompson.
Thanks, Mayor. No comments. I was also planning on going to that meeting tomorrow.
Okay. And, I have nothing really to report on this evening either, so. Are there any other comments? Is there anything else anybody has? If not, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? What? Go ahead.
I forgot to ask, there's something in the paper about a month ago about runoff and the responsibilities of water runoff. And I think about that Cherry Lake and the church next to it, because there was a big to-do with the neighbors several times over the last year about they fixed something that was still going down and what's going in the center. Is there something that